With YouTube attacking alternative media, please consider supporting the channel via Patreon for just $1 per month. Link below. Justice League. This movie has plagued a lot of people's careers, I think. From Zack Snyder to Joss Whedon to Ben Affleck. I mean, it is a hit or a miss depending on who you talk to. There are people out there that are applauding the fact that the movie is a failure, and there are people out there that are completely mortified by Warner Brothers' decision to bring Joss Whedon in to finish it. And that's why we're looking at right now ForSnyderCut.com. I did talk about this in a standalone video a while back where there was a new website being built about this Zack Snyder cut. And I did email the woman who was building this, a woman named Fiona, and I asked her if I could interview her about the project. She actually turned me down, saying that it's not about her and that it's about the website as a whole. And I understand that, but at the same time, I don't know. So I haven't looked at this yet. This is the first time I'm looking at it here. I just knew that it popped up yesterday, and I thought we'd go through it together because this is what the show is all about. It says here, we've been following a hero's journey, and where we had thought to find an abomination, we shall find a god. Where we had thought to slay another, we slay ourselves. Where we had thought to travel outward, we shall come to the center of our own existence. Where we had thought to be alone, we shall be with all the world. That's actually not bad. That's pretty cool, right? I mean, they put some effort into this website. So, introduction by Dr. Awkward. Let's take a look here. So, welcome to the ForSnyderCut website, your site for Snyder film appreciation and bringing light the Snyder cut of Justice League. Anyone with an open heart and mind is welcome, because sharing art is an appreciation, always gives and never takes. Art comes out of vision, and Zack Snyder's has given so much to us. We hope to share and help illuminate some of that vision, from luscious visuals, distinct irony, symbolic abstraction, technical execution, storytelling, and subtext. Every director must have a vision, but Zack Snyder's fans have come to appreciate his distinction as a visionary. I'm kind of half torn on that one. I think he's an excellent filmmaker. Doesn't always get it right. I still appreciate the guy's work, and I'll still see every one of his movies. Especially as it's been tied to comic books, graphic novels, superheroes, and sequential art. Since 2004, Zack has been immersed in the language of comics. No other director has been so invested in comics on such a grand scale, bringing to cinematic life works deemed unfilmable, confronting rich philosophical, existential, and cultural questions, and treating the material with gravity, seriousness, intensity, and passion, yet being an absolute joy to work with by all accounts. 300, Watchmen, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice all prepared him for Justice League. BVS was cast and produced with Justice League in mind. I agree. Zack completed principal photography on Chris Terrio's screenplay and screened a rough cut of Justice League for fellow filmmakers and friends, but stepped back from the film after a family tragedy during a London junket Debbie Snyder shared. For us, this whole thing is so bittersweet because we've been working on this franchise for the past 8 years. When we started developing the script for Man of Steel, and then we moved on to BVS, and also Zack developed a story for Wonder Woman, which was leading up to the point of Justice League, where these characters were finally going to come together. Not being able to complete his vision was extremely difficult, so that makes it hard. Joss Whedon agreed to complete the film, from writing rewrites to directing reshoots to overseeing post-production and the final edit. Zack, by his own account, was hands-off thereafter. To Wired, he said, "It would be unfair in a lot of ways to get involved again after being off the movie for so long. I've just kind of let them do their own thing." After the film's release, he says, "I'll be honest, I have not seen the film since I stepped away. You know I love these characters. I only wish I could have finished it for you and the others who love MOS and BVS." In his absence, Justice League departed from Zack Snyder's vision, which is very true. I mean, I enjoyed Justice League pretty much immensely. I really enjoyed what I saw, but there was so much tonally there that was different. And what I was excited for when I first saw the trailer for Justice League in Hall H at Comic-Con, it was not there. Like, that vision and coming off of BVS, looking at what they were going to do with Justice League, was not there. I mean, you literally had fat Affleck face, right? Go watch the first trailer and go watch the movie, and Ben Affleck put on like 5 pounds on his face. Now, ForSnyderCut's website mission is to share what we love about the vision and what we've seen, and bring to light the vision on Justice League that we didn't see. The Snyder Cut would be driven by the consistency and integrity of principal photography under the same director, cinematographer, editor, and actors working from the same pre-approved script at the peak of their preparation. Our goal is to see time, care, deliberation, and preparation, artistry, and intentions that went into principal photography, principal performances, polished production, and prior screenplay composed out of a place of passion, joy, excitement, and cooperation, compared to the hurried and desperate efforts to rushed out under duress. Yeah, they'd already set the release date of the movie. They should have probably pushed it back. However well-intentioned the latter, we believe that the talent and artistry of the filmmakers, actors, visual artists, etc. will be better represented in the first case. Please join our newsletter to help us bring them back. All right, so it's all that. So you can see, basically, this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to... I think they're trying to build a kind of a cult following around this perceived cut. They're trying to build a fan push to kind of like force Warner Brothers' hands in order to do this. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if ultimately this website gets taken down, because if they use a lot of copyrighted material from Warner's has no problem striking down fan sites. They did this with Harry Potter back in the day. And so, you know, they have a possibility of they have the change order petition here. So they have information, the timeline of events and everything else. Okay, so I think they're still working on this kind of stuff. But ultimately, you can see that there are fans that do want to see this thing come together. It says here that Zack Snyder's DCEU saga took audiences on an epic hero's journey that would culminate in Justice League. So in their own words, why the fans want the Zack Snyder Justice League cut. And here's a bunch of commentary from people that have chimed in. And I do want to say that I kind of owe an apology to It's Me Zoe, Zoe, the girl who orchestrated the petition or the protest outside of Warner Brothers headquarters a couple weeks ago with the hashtag release the Snyder Cut. I gave her a hard time in a video about it. I had suggested that she was doing it for maybe more fame or anything else. I think I got that wrong, and I'm willing to admit that, absolutely. I looked at the 13 people that went. I looked at the people that had posted their commentary about it, going there and what they were attempting to do. And then I read the snide commentary from the movie bloggers. And even today, I've seen that pop up a couple times due to a story I'm going to talk about next. But I've seen it pop up, and I feel bad because I didn't take this person's intent to heart. I looked at it as more of a promotional thing versus fans of a franchise wanting to see something come together. And so to Zoe, I do owe an apology, actually. I don't know if she'll ever see this, whatever, but I do. The Zack Snyder cut, I do want to see it. It's just not ultimately possible. But the fans that want to see it are getting completely crapped on. They're getting completely crapped on by the movie bloggers that should look at the passion exhibited by these fans that want to see this and actually like jump on board with it. Because let's be realistic here. I'm not a journalist. Okay, I'm a commentator at best. I'm a pundit at best. But ultimately, I'm talking about something that I'm enthusiastic about. I want to talk about movies because I'm enthusiastic about movies, which means that if anything, I'd be considered enthusiastic press, and that's it. Now, I'm not a journalist, and neither are these other people, but instead of being enthusiastic for the stuff that they talk about, you can look at these movie bloggers now, and it's on all websites, like, Collider/Film, Birth Movies Death, all these people, and they take a certain form of glee of absolutely crapping on this kind of stuff. And yeah, no, I'm not about that. I'm not about that at all. So I don't know if this is going to give us a Snyder Cut. I don't think we're ever going to get the full thing, but I hope that we get something eventually out of this. I hope Warner sees that there is a lot of fans out there that do legitimately care for the journey Snyder was taking us on with these characters. And it's not for everyone. And I understand that. There are people out there that really hated the deconstruction of Superman's character. And they loved the rebuilding of him in Justice League, kind of going to become a Boy Scout. And I get that. And I completely understand that all the way through. But I just really like the world. And in some respects, I like it more than the MCU. And I'm a big MCU fan. So, yeah, I'm hoping. It's kind of a hope against hope, but maybe one day we'll see something.